Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name is Rick Camaris, also known as Rick's 2 Cents. Thank you for joining Shop Talk Live, along with my fellow co-host Steve from Steve Makes Everything.
Hi, guys.
And we have a special guest today. Shane, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, Shane from SJ Woodworks.
So, do you want to say where you're from, kind of little background, how you got into what you're doing, what you're doing these days, and what's your niche?
Yeah.
We always talk about niches.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, I do scroll saw art, and I offer a couple different tiers and stuff. I do like ornament sizes, and then I do shelf pieces, and I can do like portraits and business signs and larger scale items. But everything is cut by hand on a scroll saw and then shaped with a Dremel, and then it goes through a very tedious painting process usually. Lots of sanding involved. But yeah, I'm pretty much just like working on my flagship pieces right now and just trying to get my name out there and stuff. So
Cool.
I'm from Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada.
Sweet.
Oh, you're from Canada. I didn't even realize that. Oh
Yeah.
man, I'm out getting outnumbered here. We got to watch that. We need
Taking over, man.
we often poke fun of the bearded Viking versus Skylar, right? And we say because and they're both are good friends of ours, so don't get me wrong. The bearded Viking is a seasoned carpenter, right? Daniel, right? But Skylar, I'm not saying she's not a woodworker, but she's an artist. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because when I was looking through your content, when I was looking through your social media, I'm like, I wouldn't consider you, and no disrespect at all, a woodworker.
No.
I consider you more like an artist because you are doing very artistic things. If someone told me, hey, I want you to do this, I'll be like, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
It's too much for me. Like
I wish someone would call me an artist.
Yeah, I kind of like balance in the middle. So like my main job is actually like construction. I do carpentry and shit. Like I do carpentry. I do a lot of brickwork.
Okay.
I'm a foreman for hardscape, and I'm moving up to management here soon enough. So
nice.
But yeah, I have a fair amount of experience on the construction side of things, and I did a lot of boxing in my past. I did a lot of music in my past, and I just kind of combined everything into this.
Nice.
So like, yeah, I just kind of apply everything to the main goal and go with that. I've always been pretty creative though.
So watch what you wish for. I went from a foreman to general foreman to now a senior PM, and I don't know. I kind of miss my boots sometimes.
Yeah, being on the field.
The field has camaraderie and brotherhood, and the office is Shark Tank, right?
Yeah.
So, let's see here. I don't see a whole lot of people populated in the comments, which is weird.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, you got Andrew there. Hey, Andrew.
A couple people.
And it's a good evening, everyone. If anyone, let us know where you're checking in from, of course. And if you have any questions, let us know. And those who may be new to the live, just be aware that this is a live question and answers, meaning that we don't necessarily have any script. And don't think that you're throwing us off script if you're going to ask a complete opposite question for the topic that we're talking about, because it's an open discussion, and we will address any questions or concerns you have. So let us know for sure.
Good evening.
McPhil from
Hey, Phil.
hello everyone from South Carolina. So before we went live, Steve, you were talking about a new laser. Can you share that, or you're not allowed to talk about that yet?
I guess I can talk about it because I'm going to have a video out on it soon.
Okay.
It's the GWIC M Core, which is a 400 watt fiber and 80 watt CO2. That's almost everything you'd need in a box.
400 watt fiber and the 80 watt CO2. So is it flat like a CO2 laser?
Well, it's like a CO2 laser, but it's taller, right?
So is it a huge box, like
Yeah, it's a big box.
Okay.
And
so just like a CO2 box, but it's taller so that a CO2 gallon can go in.
Yeah.
I was just wondering
Ironically, I retired my the laser I built, the 90 watt, and now I got one that's almost exactly the same size again. So, yeah, but this thing will cut steel, aluminum, stainless.
So I gotta ask, is it compatible with Liper?
No. So keep in mind, GWIC, at least this arm of GWIC, they're an industrial company, right? Like they do make some hobby stuff. They're starting to get into it, but this is kind of the entry level of their business machines. Like they make machines that are $500,000, right? Like they make.
Is it
big
like
stuff.
China special GUI interface, or is it actually pretty nice?
I haven't looked at it too much, but it's it's a it's not Lightburn, but they all look the same, right? You set a tool path and a power, and off you go. So
speaking of Lightburn, I got a notification yesterday that there's a new version, and then they kind of prompted you to do you want the CNC software? Have you downloaded the full-blown version? I know you had the demo version.
I played briefly with MillMage, but once you're on Vectric, there's nothing MillMage is going to offer you, right?
I was curious just to download, just to try and see what it looked like.
I mean, if you're just starting out, like you buy your first CNC and you want some software to run, it's like what they're trying to be is that first piece of CNC software for anyone who buys one of those entry-level machines, right?
Right. So I was thinking like that if it would work with like the 2 trees, that's great, right? Because I bought a Spire for the Onefinity. I couldn't see anyone buying that for a 2 trees CNC, right?
Given that the software is about 10 times the price of the machine.
A $600 machine and a $2,000 software,
Yeah.
But I thought that might be cool, so I mean,
I mean, it's good for that kind of thing, right? It's anyone who is looking at easel, for example, will probably like MillMage because it's that first tool you're going to use. But I mean, I wouldn't run a CNC business with MillMage. Now, more interesting is in the new version of Lightburn, one of the things, so they've improved the camera interface, which is good. But one of the things they specifically called out was support for the X-Tool P2 series of CO2 lasers. So it supports the cameras in those.
It was weird when I tried to update it. It said, like it wanted me to connect it to one of my lasers because it was on the brand new laptop I just got.
Yeah.
Or it was going to set up some generic profiles, and I just stopped. I'm like, whoa, like just stop. I don't know. And so I want to just plug it in and go from there.
But I don't know why they went to all the effort to call out the X-Tool P2 as for camera support. Because honestly, anyone who's got an X-Tool P2 is going to use X-Tool Studio. Like, there's no way they're going to use Lightburn. So I don't know. And then there was some interesting wording in their feature list because they talk about supporting lasers that require EasyCAD 3, which they didn't support before. But the interesting thing is they didn't actually consult with the EasyCAD folks. They just reverse engineered the interface and built it. So they do have all of these provisional beta type messages all over the place on it. I don't know. I think
I'm sorry, if you want to speak, you just gotta be a little aggressive and just jump in there. We try not to have like zero.
Yeah. I didn't want to cut anyone off.
It hurts the algorithm if there's awkward pauses. So we just kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Cool. Question. So you do the CNC, you do the laser. You also do laser and shit. So are the programs between the two very similar? Like if you can do one, can you do the other? I'm not familiar with any of these yet because I haven't.
Like between a laser and a CNC, you mean?
What's that?
Between a laser and a CNC?
Yeah. Like, is there much similarity in the software?
Sort of is the answer because a CNC you've got a third axis, right?
Okay.
or a fork.
I would say that it's an easier pill to swallow. Having
Which
to start
one?
with
The
the CNC.
Okay.
Having it started with the laser.
Yeah.
If you've never done any of all the above and you jump straight into a CNC, I'm not saying it's not achievable, but I think it will be more overwhelming.
Yeah. See, for me, something I would like to use one of those machines for is like doing smaller details or lettering that is difficult on the scroll saw or fragile, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking a laser would be ideal. I feel like if I got a CNC, I would probably have to like just eventually upgrade because it might not do what I need it to do, right?
So I'm doing kind of what you're saying,
basically, and just kind of run it as a second employee.
Yeah, so I'm kind of doing exactly what you're speaking on. So I do a lot of scroll type lettering on a memorial planter boxes, all on a dial laser, right? I've always done a dial laser, but I have all these jigs set up. I have everything like written down, like I know it front to back and do it with my eyes closed. Now I'm trying to convert all that to a CNC, but I'm still learning. Like, I'm not comfortable to say I can do anything on a laser. I can do anything. There's nothing you can't challenge me to say to make. But in CNC, I'm still challenged, right? So I'm still learning.
I've been using a CNC quite a bit longer, several years, and I would do that kind of thing on a CNC rather than a laser. You can do it on a laser,
like
but it's not the best tool for it because. If you look at a laser is like a burning tool, effectively, right? It's like a glorified torch, whereas a CNC is a machining tool. So when you're done the cut, a CNC just looks like a piece of polished wood. It doesn't look like a charred ember, right? So I think now if you're cutting thin stuff, lasers will be fine. But
what it boils down to is what you can afford. I mean, we're talking hundreds versus thousands, right? And there's nothing wrong with either one. But the point is that like, if you can't jump into a $10,000-$15,000 laser, starting with a $1,500, $10,000-$15,000 CNC setup, starting with an $800-$1,500 really nice laser, because that's a really nice laser at that price, right? You could do some pretty cool stuff, and then one summer in, next year you're back with the CNC and you're not in debt, So
I mean, if you have a $1,500 budget, then buy a laser.
Yep.
Okay.
And certainly, as we always say on this
channel,
don't go into debt to buy a tool, right?
No, $1,500 definitely not entry. Entry is like $85 to $150, right?
Yeah.
But a $1,500 laser is like. A $1,500 laser is like a really good laser. Like, you're gonna get.
How big would you say it would cut? Like,
maybe 450 millimeter square.
Okay.
Yeah. You're gonna get an extractor. You're gonna get.
Yeah.
It's gonna be compatible with light burn. It's not like a knockoff Chinese special. It's gonna be a name brand.
Yeah.
And
then the software you had mentioned, the software costs quite a bit too, eh?
Not for lasers. Lasers pretty cheap.
Yeah. Light burn. So if the laser company that provides the laser doesn't provide software for it, then you can get light burn for, I don't know, it's like $80 or something, right? $100.
Yeah.
With some annual maintenance fee. But the reason I say if you have $1,500, buy a laser is because a $1,500 diode laser is kind of top of the line, right? You're looking at things like the Alien Cell, for example.
Okay.
Whereas a $1,500 CNC is, I'd say, the mid-range of kind of an entry-level CNC.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're at the bottom.
Maybe the mid-range, probably even on the lower end.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hesitate on the CNC a little bit there, just because like I don't know how small it can go without like destroying the piece.
Pretty small.
Yeah.
Like you can get like I have 32nd of an inch ball nose bits.
Yeah.
Right. And you can get incredible detail with them.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, just what we tell people all the time though, is you got to think of don't go so deep in the weeds whenever you're trying to purchase something. Kind of take a step back and think, what comes along with this? So when you're buying that laser, you need an exhaust outlet, right? So think about that. So, and for someone, not just you, but that's something you got to think about if you own or you're renting, you know. So in the room you're in, can you drill a hole going to the outside of your house? Can you not? Can you go through a window? Like you should be externally venting this on a laser, right? It's kind of my wife's in my house been like a gerbil cage when we first got them, you know.
Probably keep it out in the shed then.
But there's ways to do that inexpensively, and thanks to Canada with cannabis, all these the hydroponic farms, it made those type of venting so cheap because they used to be outrageous expensive. But because now
I've seen people do it in the middle of their apartment buildings, man.
Well, the thing is, those fans are dedicated to it. Those fans are meant to be on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have really good bearings. They're never going to go out. And before that, if you'd have bought something, you'd been replacing every so many months, right? But you're not using it for that purpose. But because it's made for that purpose, you'll never kill it because what we use it for, it never have the hours that what it was made for.
Yeah. The other thing to keep in mind with CNCs, and Rick learned this early on, they have more consumables on them, right? You have to buy bits, for example.
Okay. And they wear out.
Start, as I mentioned to Rick when he got his, just go to Amazon and buy the cheapest end mills you can find, and buy a flattening bits because you need to keep the bed flat, right? As you punch holes in the spoil board, you need to smooth them out. Well, Rick, about 2 days after he got his CNC, sent me this link to, I don't know, it was an Amazon listing. Should I buy this flattening bit? And it was like a $500 bit. No, don't buy that one.
And I bought it too.
And he bought it anyway. When you start with a CNC, you need maybe 3 or 4 bits, right? You need 2 end mills, an 1/8 inch and a 1/4 inch. You need a ball nose bit, and you need a V bit.
Yeah, so I bought some Amazon no name brand specials, and then I bought some from 2 other, I forget their names, 2 other companies that are pretty reputable.
Well, IDC or Jenny.
Yeah. So and we had so one of them came, the Onefinity came with like a coupon for some bits. That's
Jenny bits probably.
So I bought some from them, but at the end of the day, like I bought like sets of all this different kinds of stuff. And what I would encourage them to do with a CNC is go to Amazon, buy the big set of Amazon brand, like generics, and see what you're actually going to use, and then replace the ones you dull out or break with expensive ones. Because if it is generic and you used it once in a blue moon, or you never used it at all, you're not mad like you spent, because those bits, like a name brand bit, is like what, $65-$85 at least.
Not cheap.
I mean, you can go to Amazon and buy like the 5-pack of 1/4 inch end mills, and they always say they're carbide. I don't know where the carbide is, but they'll get you going because when you get started, you're going to break bits, right? And it's much less dramatic to break a $5 or $10 bit than it is to break a $50 or $60 bit.
Oh yeah,
but realize that with CNCs, you really do get what you pay for in bits. So if you buy like a $50 or $60 Jenny bit end mill, it's going to last a year.
And the other thing is, when you first start off, you're so scared to ruin the bit, you kind of pussyfoot it, right?
Yeah.
And like if I was telling Steve I'm cutting at this, he'd probably laugh because he'd be pushing the CNC harder than me. Because I'm nervous.
I don't.
You don't want to break it.
So the beauty of a CNC is it's a bit like a 3D printer, right? You set things up, you push the start button, and you can just go off and do something else. So I never really push bits too hard. Like I don't really go with high speed, with high feed rates, because for one thing, you're going to break bits, but you're also going to get rougher cuts, right? With if you're plowing through it. So I just set the thing on. I think typically I go like, I don't know, probably 10 or 15, well, probably 15 millimeters a minute or something, or a second. Anyway,
it's slow. On the Dremel. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so I just go slow because it's like I can go off and do one of 10 other things that are on my list of things to do, right? So it doesn't have to be done fast.
Yeah. I think for me there on the Dremel, I keep around like 10 to 15 too, actually. I go a little bit slower than I could because I'm trying to like get the detail just right. Yeah. But
like
I use Kutzall burrs though. They've been lasting me pretty good. They've been lasting me quite a while there now.
Yeah,
so.
but on a Dremel you'll have an 1/8" shank, right? So
a what? Sorry.
An 1/8" shank, like the bit itself fits into an 1/8" collet.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So I have 1/4" collets, and you can just like it's really hard to break a 1/4" bit.
Yeah.
Like with a 1/4" shank. So I could go a lot faster, but I don't. I could plow a lot deeper per pass. I don't do that either.
Yeah.
And I hear you on the Dremel because that's how I do my coins.
Yeah.
And,
nice.
So I spend a lot of time. Yeah. So I got some hand time with.
Yeah, I like my Dremel. I'd like to get the flex shaft. Like I have a cheap one with my old Dremel that I had, but whenever I upgraded to the actual Dremel 4300 or whatever, I didn't get like the flex shaft.
Yeah, see, I'm much lazier than that. I just have a polisher.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Bucket full of pins with water and some solvent in there. Throw their coins in, let them tumble around for 20 minutes, and you're done.
Oh, yeah.
Again, then I can go off and do something else. Right?
Nice.
Steve likes the patina look, and I tell him I'm Mexican, man. It's got to bling, man. It's got to bling.
Yeah.
Gordon said hello from Nebraska. Thanks for checking in. I appreciate everyone checking in. Let us know where you're coming from. Of course, you have any questions, let us know.
Hey,
David said hello from South Milwaukee.
And don't forget the noise. What's that about?
Prism Print from South Carolina. By the way, Prism Print, 3D printer is down, so I'll be focusing on stickers this weekend. So if you guys did send me some emails with some stickers you guys want to print, I'll be getting to them this weekend. Sorry, it's been absolutely crazy. As you guys know, I'm in the trade, so it's that time of year, right? We are just slammed, and I own a farm, so it's that time of year. I am busy.
So even when you're not in the trades, I used to be, but I'm things have just been crazy lately. Like it's just I can't seem to catch up. It's depressing.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna ask, what is it? I know you mentioned earlier there, but what is it you do like trade wise? I see a lot of like landscape and stuff there because you got a big friggin' property there, but
yeah, so that's for my personal. I can't say the name of the company I work for, but I'm in charge of modernizing our power grid.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
So to make our power grid 98.9% efficient.
Nice.
So I was a lineman for a long time. My father was a builder. I grew up in the trades. I grew up swinging a hammer. So so I take these college boys and give them a run for their money, right?
Yes,
they got more degrees and the higher IQ than me, but they couldn't use a shovel if their life depended upon it, right?
I hear that.
I can use a shovel.
What do they say? They don't know the hole from their ass from the hole in the ground, right?
Yeah.
It's sometimes I feel like I work with guys that are so smart they have no common sense and they're just stupid.
See, the way I
get it, you're smart. But
the way I would describe them is they don't know if their ass was punched or bored.
I like that one, Steve. I'm going to actually use that. That's good. I've never heard that before. Rick said, checking in from Florida. Hello. I will be there in 2 weeks. Disney, here I come.
Oh, I've got a cordless 8-volt rotary tool that I like much better than the flex shaft on a corded tool or motor.
Yeah, Mark said a good evening, everyone. Again, coming from you from just north of Clack Shack. Okay,
Clack Shack.
The Clack Shack. So they say you got to say Clack 3 times, and he shows up. So so he's like Beetlejuice. Kevin says checking in from Tennessee. Hello, more Tennessee. Oh, look at this, Roy, also from East Tennessee.
You get
Tennessee.
What's the how do you indicate citizenship of Tennessee? Are they Tennesseans?
They can handle their liquor. That's how you know you're from Tennessee. Those are them boys that kick back those. They got that little bottle in the pocket. They don't play. They can handle their liquor. Kevin said, "Hey everyone, and Rochester, Michigan this week. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it." Brad Dewey said, "Hello all. Hey.
Yeah, one thing, if you want, I can show you is one thing I'm working on here. I'll move the thing. So this backer, this is for a large project that I'm working on. I'm sure you probably already know what it is because I've been posting in the group there.
Yeah.
That backer is for a large scale glow in the dark Johnny Bravo. All hand carved and shaped and then primed and painted and sanded multiple times in between. But this is kind of the state of it right now. Hold on here. I'll try to get the camera.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So, have you ever watched any of Skylar stuff?
Yes.
So Skylar used to do a lot of carving with sometimes by hand, but usually a grinder or something. And she was doing really cool stuff. But now she got a CNC, and the things she does now. So this is how you know she's an artist, right? Because every tool she uses just makes better art, right?
Yeah, like 1 week of having a CNC, she's making these crosses. Like, "Hey Rick, how do I fix this problem?" Like, I don't know.
But she said it feels like cheating.
It does. Like that's kind of why I'm hesitating a little bit because I take pride in the fact that I spend a lot more time than the average person, I think, on a lot of these projects because I'm like a perfectionist. I try to be a perfectionist. I'm like super OCD. And I don't care how long it takes me as long as it matches the picture in my head. So, and like there's investment, all of this stuff that I'm doing, like unless it's a commission that was specifically asked, all this stuff that I'm doing is all out of pocket for me. Like this is all self-funded. Just to build my flagship pieces and have something that represents what I'm actually capable of so I can actually market it to people. Right.
Yeah. Cool. So I think most of us have gone through that struggle at some point, right? Like I used to do a lot of things by hand, right? Yeah. And now I have literally every power tool known to man. And I went through this is cheating, but you have to come to terms with the fact that the creation is in you. It's not in the tool, right?
Mm-hmm. I would say this. Don't let your pride get in your way of your wallet.
Yeah.
Because are you doing this? Because if you're purely doing it as a way to vent, just like blow off steam, you enjoy it, then who cares? But if you're doing it to make money, sometimes one takes the backseat for the other.
Yeah. So my brother hand carves wooden spoons.
Yeah.
And he's got like these razor sharp knives, and he spends, who knows how many hours making a spoon. I put a piece of wood on my CNC and push the start button, and I make one in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I can make 100 of them that are exactly the same. Now, maybe that's a problem for someone who's an artist, right? But he does it because he enjoys carving, like that whole experience of just peeling off a piece of wood and see what's underneath, right? Like see what shape it turns into. I'm an engineer, so it's like if I can get this, like you talk about being a perfectionist with a CNC, you can get down to like sub-millimeter accuracy, so it's precise.
Yes,
but you lose that experience of it's like people who use like a blade to shave versus I'm the latter, right? Because it's like it's just a thing. But I know people who think that's like a spa experience, right? When you do that whole
it does kind of disconnect you and bring you into your own thing. One thing I'm wondering though is about like the CNC and the laser. The laser, it wouldn't be too bad because I prime and paint my pieces. So like I'm not worried about burn marks and stuff. But one thing I'd be worried about with those machines is like for example, like if I do something like this.
Yeah.
This way. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I can see it.
So, like those lines, everything's cut individually. There's like 21 pieces to that.
Yeah. So it's like Intarsia then, right?
It is, but it's with
Yeah.
MDF because of the paint finish.
Yeah.
The paint goes better with it. But like, I don't know how close I could get a laser to do the exact same kind of thing if I.
So keep in mind
that there's two ways. There's two ways you could do
I don't
the
think
pieces.
It would go like because it doesn't create the line, right? It carves in. I think a laser would have to be probably the option there because then I can blend things into one another. You know what I mean?
Well, I still think you're better with a CNC to do that.
Yeah. So if you want that curve, like and you want like textured, like to do that, that's totally a CNC. If you want real structured, rigid lines, that's a lot better to do with this a lot easier to do with the laser. Just a because when you want. I'm saying just from a setting up the file perspective, right?
Yes. Okay, so because the CNC it'll do the carving for me, but the laser does the cutting for me. So it's basically which I want to eliminate from the process.
A CNC can cut too, right?
Right.
It's not as efficient.
But what I'm saying is, yes, of course, the CNC can cut, but what the CNC can do that the laser's not going to do, at least as well, is that contour cut, right?
Yeah, the third dimension, the height.
Yeah. The blending.
Now you can get it with like a UV laser, but it's slow, right? It's not going to.
Yeah. So I do that with a lot of script font, and it has textured into the some of the scrollies, but it takes time, and I got to really dial in my settings because I don't want to go too far to material. I don't want to create pocket holes, or I want it to be consistent. So there's some homework to do.
Yeah. So the thing you showed, you can make that two different ways with a CNC. If you wanted to do the Intarsia thing, you could make all of those pieces just like you do now, except with a machine.
What about in here?
Yep.
Like small pieces.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So you could do it. You could do all the multiple pieces like you do today with a CNC, and then glue them all together just like you do now. Or you could cut that entire thing in one pass.
Yeah.
Yes. That'd be the easier way.
One piece. One pass. But then you don't have the clear lines, though.
Yeah. The finest line. Well, if you used a V-bit, you could get something that looks like a line, but it's not quite the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could do like a black rag though and wash it down, and then it would define those lines a little bit.
Yeah.
Like a rag with black paint and some water or whatever. Just wash it down.
Paint the whole thing black first, and then steal the highlights, right?
Yeah. No one said you couldn't go back with a Dremel too and hit it here and there because you want to put some hand touches on it.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. But I think every piece unique. Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah. So I think to if you're trying to replicate what you're doing by hand, a laser is not going to be able to do that. A laser is going to be able to save you time on some of the stuff you're doing.
Yeah.
A laser can't do what you did on hand. That has to be done by CNC. To do that, to replicate what you just did, has to be done on CNC. To take time off of it, some of the stuff you're doing by hand, you could do with a laser.
For the carving bit and stuff.
Yeah, like a CNC is a better cutter than a laser is a contour creator, right?
Huh. And the CNC can go really, really small, eh?
Yep.
Yeah.
What about in here? Sorry, I'm curious.
Yeah.
So like
absolutely
the nostrils of Dino here.
No problem.
Yeah. I was actually looking for something here. Hang on.
Easy.
It could get that?
Yeah, no problem.
Oh wow.
Here we go. So this isn't the one I was looking for. But
people are asking what's going on with the background. Is that a green screen? They don't realize, no, that is your shop. That
isn't my shop. It is my shop. It is my shop, but this is a background. It's not my actual shop. I'm not in my shop. So this thing.
Hold on.
Oh, that's those coins, eh?
Yeah. Looking at Rick. I didn't make him with a CNC. So this was cut with a CNC. This isn't the one I was looking for, but this is same kind of technique. And you can see the lettering around the perimeter. It's detailed. You can read that. Huh. It's like it was pressed, right?
Yeah.
Now that one's in aluminum. You want to do it in wood, but I mean, with wood, you'd be looking at using a V-bit to get that fine detail.
Okay.
David said.
And then there's probably a lot of programming involved, I would imagine. Setting your heights and your depths and all that stuff. How long does it take to set up a file?
Surprisingly, not as much as you'd think.
No?
So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can do like a height map. And there's AI tools that'll do that. You can give it a picture and say, make this a height map, and it'll go off and do magic for you. And then it'll cut the contours. You could create the contours yourself, which is a much... it's more difficult, but it's not any better. So you might as well just focus on doing your design in a tool and then turning it into a height map. But there's a number of ways you can do it. But you know, maybe we terrified you a bit too much about things like V.
No.
But
I'm still stuck doing it by hand for a long time anyway. Before I can afford any of these tools, I'm kind of just daydreaming about getting one at some point.
No, so Dave, don't forget about the noise, and that's a big thing. So
yes.
a dial laser can be used for the most part anywhere. There's like really no sound, right? It sounds like some weird. They sound funny, like they make funny wee. Right? I don't even know how to describe it. They make these funny noises, but they're not loud. I don't even know how to describe the sounds they make.
If my laser made that noise, I'd throw it away.
The diode lasers, they make a weird noise. They do make a weird noise.
Yeah, well, they got fans and things in them, but
yeah, but they make a weird noise. But CNC is like,
yeah.
Whoa.
So if you have a CNC with a spindle, as long as the spindle isn't touching anything, the bit isn't touching anything, a spindle's really quiet. Like just running, it's quieter than a laser is. But the second you touch a piece of material, it is screaming.
Yeah. So Steve kept warning me. He's like, dude, your wife's gonna kick it out of your house. You're not gonna do that in your basement. So that's why I insulated my ceilings and insulated the walls to kind of deflect and reflect the sound back down. But my wife works every weekend in the afternoons. So when I come home, I don't even think she's ever heard it on. So
and none of us have heard your CNC on, just so you know.
Yeah, just me and Ricky. Yeah. Kevin said next time they're up, maybe have lunch or dinner or just shake hands. Okay, I don't know what that is. I think they're talking amongst each other in the chats. Centennial said, I got a cordless V8 rotary tool. I much like it better than the flex shaft on a corded tool. I don't know. I don't like the rotary because it's too big and you feel the vibration in your hand. So I like that rotary tool because I don't have the weight of the actual.
No, but these ones are really small. Like they do make some small cordless rotary tools. And I mean, it's like a really fat pencil. It's not like a Dremel. Like a Dremel is pretty big, right?
Yeah.
Now, one thing I'm just thinking of here, I just noticed the comment said you could make one by hand, then scan it with a 3D scanner to make a digital model. I'm assuming that would be the single piece.
Or the whole thing.
What's that?
Or the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like as a full piece, right?
Yeah.
See, with my thing, I think part of what makes my pieces work is that because I do them in separate pieces, I'm able to make my colors like fade into one another. If I tried to do it as a single piece, it wouldn't work because I wouldn't be able to get the highlights and the shading and the midtones. You know
so the thing you can do though is you could take all of those little pieces you have, like you start with some kind of a drawing, right? And it has all the lines where you want to cut.
Yeah.
So you could just break those out into separate pieces, lay them out onto the same piece of wood, and cut all those pieces out individually on a CNC. and then do everything you do now.
Yeah.
And that CNC is going to be thin enough to do that? Because the scroll saw blade is pretty freaking...
Yeah.
Well, so keep in mind, when you're cutting with a CNC, you have a line, and the tool bit is generally on the outside of the line.
Okay.
Right. So there's 3 modes when you're doing a cut. You can be inside the line, outside the line, or on the line.
Yeah.
And then the kerf effectively would be determined by the size of your bit.
Okay.
But if you're outside the line, you don't care because you don't have a kerf essentially at that point. At least not on the little piece that you're cutting out.
Okay. Just wondering, like, would you be using more material that way, or?
No.
Well, sure, maybe, but
I don't think drastic. I mean, it's a smaller piece. It's not.
Yeah,
like
I wouldn't be drastic, I guess.
Yeah. Prison Prince said the artist is only as good as what the artist puts out.
That's right.
Or with
it's not the tool, right? It's not the gun, it's the gunner.
Yeah.
Right. It says modern or whatever kind of tools. It matters what the artist is. Yeah. So agree.
Yeah. That's what I meant when I said the machine isn't making your art. You're making your art, right?
Yeah.
You just happen to be using a machine.
Right. And the old argument, you're not a woodworker if you use a laser. You're not a woodworker if you use a CNC. There's people that will even go as far as to say that.
Yeah. Yet somehow you're a woodworker if you use a table saw. Or a scroll saw.
So Chad said you can make one by hand, scan it, 3D scan it, make it a digital model. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah.
But if you want the individual pieces, hey, did we say clack 3 times? Clack. There, close enough.
Clack said the file designer will be the part that prevents it from working for him. Someone has to design the 3D file. Yeah. So what he's trying to say is
designing the file now, right? It's just it's a character with like that Fred Flintstone is just, you have an image, right?
Well, yeah, just an image and the same thing, like.
Yeah. And then so everywhere where you did a cut there was a line on your drawing.
To an extent. Basically,
yeah, well, here's the other thing. The good thing about Fiverr is like if you're like lost and you don't even want it, I've done it. Guilty, charged. You can go on Fiverr and pay someone $7-8, and that's what they do all day long, every day, and they'll bang it out in 20 minutes. And you're doing something else for your time. You spent $10.
Make your lines and stuff. You mean?
Yeah.
I'm not too concerned with making my lines. Usually, I'll do it from a picture. Like I'll even like just like a person, and I'll just take a pencil and fucking. So you stick it on the wood and then start cutting.
So you're drawing them. You're drawing them with a pencil, then.
Well, I print it out, but if I need to emphasize my line to have something to go off of, if it looks a little wishy-washy or whatever, then I might just use a pencil. But
the tool you use for drawing might change. Right, because there's no allowance for a pencil line on a CNC.
I probably use Procreate or something.
Yeah, or Procreate or Inkscape or God, there's 100 of them, right?
Yeah. Any graphic design thing.
My daughter loves Procreate. Yeah, and she the cool thing about with Procreate if you have the pencil is it can know like by the pressure how it creates that. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
My phone.
Yeah.
One of those fold ones. That's what I use for pretty much everything. But
that's cool. Rick said, "Hey guys, I made it. Thank you for joining.
Hey Rick.
Hey, it's Santa's laser engraving.
Yeah.
What is this? Ubuffer. You boofer. You boofer. You boofer. Don't recognize the name right now. You are. Thank you for joining. Go ahead. What were you saying?
So like as far as social media strategies, what do you guys like implement? Anything specific or?
No, I'm the worst.
So
Rick is more of a social media guy than I am.
My advice to anyone who wants to do social media or create anything to sell anything is that don't copycat. What I mean by that is like, if Steve's successful at creating something, if Andy's created something, clack. If you try to make what they make, I don't think long-term longevity, you'll make it. The reason that I'm saying is because there's no get-rich-quick scheme, right? It takes time, blood, sweat, and tears. So if whatever you're making is something you're passionate about, while the money's just not being raked in, you're still passionate about creating that type of thing, right?
Not lose motivation over it or anything.
Exactly. And then you're kind of staying in your lane, and you're also refining your process because you're going to get better at what you're doing. You're going to improve it. Anytime you've ever made something, you go back 2 years, look at something, you're like, oh my God, I thought that looked so good. That looks like crap, but you're just always getting better at what you do, So I would say that. And then obviously start with friends and family. But the problem I think with friends and family is that a lot of times they're not always one who's so supportive. You'd be surprised when people become a customer and they become repetitive customers. And your own family and friends are the ones you're like, man, Debbie Downers, man. Like if you use them as a measuring stick, you should just quit yesterday, right? Because they're not always so supportive. Some people want to see you do good, but not better than them, and that's just a sad truth, right?
It took me about, how long have I been married? Close to 30 years to finally make something that my wife liked, and it was this week. Wow. It was this. If I can show it in the light.
Oh wow, nice. Real nice.
So that was done on the metal fab, of course, and I was just goofing around, and I cut this out, and she was like, "Wow, that's fantastic! I'm going to hang it up." It's like finally 30 years, I achieved the goal.
Yeah, so we say often that our wives are not interested in YouTube, any of the stuff we do. At least mine for sure is not.
Yeah, mine. I have to remind whenever my posts are scheduled. I have to remind hey, my post came out. Go give it some love.
Yeah, I know. My wife, I had 60,000.
She'll reluctantly do it, but she does it.
I had 60,000 subscribers that I posted, and my wife liked it, and I was like, "Oh wow, okay."
my wife actually came into my shop today, and I had to look at her and go, "Who are you? Why are you in my shop?" It happens about once every 2 years.
Either you're in trouble or something's wrong.
Well, yeah, as it happened, she was coming in to tell me to do something on the honeydew list there, but
there you go. Yeah, my daughter.
Guys... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'll say my daughter just graduated, so we're having a big party coming the next 3 days. So my honeydew list is long, man. I've been running ragged.
Yeah, I've seen your property. I believe it. Like I said, I do landscaping, so I know how long that would take.
Yeah. Landscaping for me is firing up the robot mower.
So my wife is French Canadian, so she tells everyone all the time, "Oh, don't let him lie to you. He loves doing it." And I tell her, and I remind her quite often, just because I'm Mexican doesn't mean I like doing landscaping. If I was wealthy enough, I would hire other Mexicans to do it. Trust me. I just don't. Yeah. I just can't afford it, so I gotta do it myself.
Oh yeah, that's the struggle.
Yeah. I'm getting much better at hiring people. It's a time thing. It's not even money. It's just I got no time.
I tried. People want $1,100, $1,200 a month to cut my grass. I'm like, that is just
wow. For $1,200 a month, I'll fly to Chicago once a week and cut your grass.
$1,200 a month.
$1,200. Yeah. I've seen the overhead pictures. I have an idea, but I don't know offhand because I haven't seen it in person. I'm just trying to think.
The biggest problem with my property. The biggest problem with my property is it's not a field. It's tons of trees. So they're cutting around.
Yeah.
If you had 4 acres, if you had 4 acres, it's just a lot. Man, they can, 60-inch decks, they can knock that out quick, but when it's all these trees, now it's cutting, now you're down to at least nothing over a 45-inch deck. Otherwise, you're not going to make between trees.
Yeah. And, a lot of trimmer work too.
Yeah.
Because you can only get so close with the zero turn, right?
Yep. So exactly. So you know exactly what I mean. Yeah. So 3 tractors later, and
I just got done digging up a half a yard today and fucking a bunch of other crap. So
yeah, I know. It still makes it. I own it. Like, so if they make it, I own it. Trust me.
So Zentenro brings up an interesting point here about CNCs. This is a limitation, right? Because inside corners are limited to a radius, right? Because you've got a round toe bit.
Yes.
Whereas a laser can cut a perfect 90-degree or 20-degree inside corner if you want.
The laser? Yeah. Okay.
But a CNC is the tightest it can get is the diameter of the bit.
Of the bit, yeah.
Now,
so, like,
if you want tight corners, then you just take a hand chisel but it's work, right?
Yeah, that's why I said you could still go in by hand and kind of clean things up and change.
Yeah.
What it's gonna do.
Yeah.
It's gonna
this one isn't so much a problem for you because most of your pieces will be outside cut corners anyway. But
okay, here's the dad joke. Hold on. Ready? Does dad jokes.
Okay.
You want to read, Steve?
The real reason women lead more happier lives than men is that most of them don't have wives. Oh boy. I'm glad my wife doesn't watch my channel.
Hit that like. Don't forget to follow and subscribe.
Yeah, follow me while I'm still alive.
Drop a comment down below. Yeah. So, do you guys stick to any kind of like see me, I find I don't know. I'm kind of balancing everything between work and the projects and the social media because I've been forcibly pushing the social media since like November. I made this page, my page, initially back in like September or the fall or whatever, but because of work, I didn't really get to focus on it too much. But around November is when the light clicked, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to push this every day and post consistently and develop. And I basically I try to make videos every day, and I try to make it different, and I try to make it like a series, like almost like a show. I've started structuring it as like seasons and stuff, and I have mini series.
You kind of like skits, be comical and keep people engaged. But one thing I can tell you could do too is that you obviously, as you start creating things, you have a library of things you've created. Mm-hmm. You can use CapCut, right, and throw that in there and create just like short 38-second clips.
Yeah.
Because text posts, picture posts, video posts could be the same thing, but it's just that's a video, that's a picture, that's a text. They're going to get different types of the whatever social content, whatever social platform you're using on it, they'll promote that differently. Like if you look at your stats, I'll have Facebook and they'll say you're down 2,000% in your viewings on YouTube because you haven't posted any reels. And because YouTube wants people, Facebook wants you to post reels because everyone's taking TikTok, posting on Facebook. Everyone's taking YouTube, posting on Facebook. So they want you to post videos. So when you post videos, Facebook really promotes your content.
Yeah.
See, I followed all of these when I was starting YouTube. I followed all of these supposed YouTube gurus and social media gurus who said, "Oh, you got to do that. You got to post every day. You got to do this. You got to do that."
Yeah,
and that's not strictly true.
No,
I'm posting less frequently than I used to be. But I mean, you asked about social media, and I said I'm like the worst. But it's a conscious decision, right? Pick one platform and own it. And
just one.
Yeah, because and I know Rick does a lot of shorts from certainly from our live stream, and I was doing that, but it just seems like such a, I don't know, it just seems like it's such a false way to get views, right? It's like
it's a lot of work too.
It was sure. I mean, you got tools, but
right.
So I don't even like doing short videos on YouTube all that much. But sometimes companies will say, "Oh, can you do a short on this as well?" And it's okay, fine. but
So
I'd
for
rather
me,
just do
like,
long on YouTube, right? That's kind of where I stay.
yeah, yeah. So like for me, basically my strategy was like short form videos on Facebook, which was my main one, and then TikTok and Instagram, and try to get monetized on all three before tackling the final boss, right, which is YouTube.
Yeah.
And then I would do long form stuff on that.
So
So
are
I'm
you
structuring
monetized
everything.
on
Sorry, go ahead.
any of those platforms now?
What's that?
Are you monetized on any of those platforms now?
Yes, TikTok and Facebook. And Facebook, I've only been monetized for a short period of time here, like almost maybe a
So
month here coming up, and I'm almost about to make
okay.
my first 140
That's
bucks, which isn't a lot,
encouraging.
but
That's encouraging because I was expecting you to say no, I'm not monetized on any of them.
no,
Right.
no, I've been grinding.
Yeah. Like, this was one of the sage pieces of advice that somebody gave me once I kind of realized I was in the YouTube trap of posting every day and doing all the things, right?
Yeah.
And he said, just don't do that. Like
Okay.
build videos that you'd be proud of, that you want people to watch, that are useful to people.
Yeah.
And do it on one platform until you own it. And then, maybe stretch out, because what happens is you shoot a YouTube video, long form maybe, and you split it up into a dozen shorts for YouTube. And then maybe you send some of them over to Facebook. Now you have to be a Facebook expert. Then you send some of them to Instagram. You got to be an Instagram expert. Then you go to TikTok.
Yeah.
So you just can't. I mean, you already have no time because you got a job, right? So these things all take time.
Yes.
So here's my advice. When you're first starting out, like this big notch on your belt that like people tell you is a good accomplishment is becoming monetized. As you grow, you realize that it's a joke. And because we joke about it all the time, we sarcastically say, how much did you make on YouTube this month? How much did you make on Facebook this month? Because that is the smallest amount of money that you'll ever make out of anything else that's coming in from your affiliates, from like of all the ways you're going to make money once you get deep into this. That's the smallest portion of your income that's going to come. So when you're putting just monetization, when you're putting so much effort into the monetization because you're trying to hit their tiers, you're not doing what's really going to be best for you. So what I would say is concentrate on what you want to do. Who cares about the monetization? And I know every penny counts. $150 is not nothing to say, hey, I don't want 150. Somebody said you want $150, throw it out the window, but like, give me $150, right? Of course. But what I'm saying is don't let that hold you back because you think I have to do this to be monetized. Like as your following grows,
sorry, go ahead.
As your following grows, you'll become monetized, and they'll all become monetized. So last year I hit 1.15 million views every single month. In like the last 5 months of the year, I didn't even post a video other than ShopTalkLive, right? See, I mean,
oh wow,
I didn't have to post anything.
And it was
now, the thing to understand in well, there's a lot of things to understand, but like when people talk about views, right? A view of like a YouTube short, is it's almost like a different currency than the view of a long form. Now TikTok only has shorts, so but to make like $1, you need like people watching it 100,000 times, right? Like it's so and you have to keep reminding yourself what your motivation is. Like for me, YouTube has never been about making money, right? I was retired anyway, or I was about to retire when I started my channel, and it was just the fact that YouTube pays me, not a lot, but they pay me, it's like, wow, this is fantastic. I can do more stuff with my channel, right? And so your motivation could be different, right? It could be money, and that's perfectly valid. It's not a I wouldn't judge somebody who said, "Oh, my goal is to make tons of money."
Yeah.
I wouldn't
For
mind
me,
being Mr. Beast, but well,
no.
at least from a video perspective. But his motivation is very different than mine on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or on anything creating content.
Yeah, I'll get low blow sometimes. They'll say, Rick, when are you gonna drop this video? When are you gonna do that video? When are you gonna do this video? Not to remind people, like YouTube doesn't pay my bills, guys. The video, the tools you see in the background, the tools you see in my videos, I use them to make money. And sometimes I need to focus on using them to make money so that I can continue to make videos, because otherwise I'll be putting them on Facebook Marketplace. I have to sell them, you know what I mean? Because everything costs money. Like this StreamYard, $1,100 a year just to have this app. You know what I mean? Like everything just it's not free to exist, right?
No.
So and I make different things different times of year, and I know I focus on that.
So once you get over the platform payment, then you decide, okay, well, I can make money other ways, right? I can do affiliate marketing. I can do training, just a bunch of things. Now, affiliate marketing is the next obvious one, because sooner or later, someone's going to say, hey, we want you to review this thing, right? Or use it in a video and tell your experience. And sometimes they'll offer you money. I generally don't take money from companies, because then once they buy you, Rick does.
They think they own you.
Once they buy you, then they basically are paying for your opinion, right? And
it's true, baby. I'll take your money. Let's go. Let's go.
But
I got $1 in college, man.
So I do a lot of affiliate marketing, but my official stance, and when you get comments, people will go, "Oh, that's a terrible machine. Don't buy it. I don't care. It's not like it's not like my grocery bill depends on you buying, a laser or something. All I can do is convey my experience, and I sometimes will provide, an opinion. Like, I think you should buy this if you're this kind of, if you're in this kind of business. But this is why I always tell Rick, don't call me an influencer, because that means I'm trying to sway people, and that's not my jam. Right? I would rather just say, here's my experience with this. I think it's kind of cool.
Right.
But whether you buy one or not, if you do, hey, I got an affiliate link there. If you don't, well, watch the next video. Maybe you'll find something there, right?
That's about affiliates that I noticed, and I can't say more reputable companies may not have this problem, but I've 100% been robbed. And what I mean by that is, companies say, oh, we're going to give you this product, and we're going to give you 35% of the commission of this. And you're like, oh, wow, that's pretty good, compensation for my time. So I'm going to put a big effort into promoting your product. And you do. And, I'll sell 7-8 lasers the first month, and I'll say, hey, well, that's $8,700, 25%. Like, man, I sold 7 of these. I got a big chunk of change coming. And all of a sudden, oh, well, you weren't the only person who referred that customer. What are you talking about? They contacted me directly. I created a group chat message and said, they want to buy this. You want back and forth. I witnessed the negotiation in the chat. Boom, they paid you. I was pulled out of the conversation. I'm waiting for my commission. So a lot of those companies too, they have Amazon. So I would say that if the same company that you're doing a review from has Amazon, they can't rip you off Amazon. If they have their own internal links, they can kind of scam you, but they can't scam you out of Amazon. So, and some companies get mad. They're like, well, why do you have the Amazon link? Why do you have? And I'm like, well, some people like Amazon because they get the Amazon extended warranties. And that is true. But you can't get robbed or get ripped off on your affiliate if you use an Amazon link.
Yeah, and I haven't had any company say, well, there was 2 people with the same commission, so I haven't had that one. But what you do find quite regularly is they'll say, oh, we've got this wonderful thing, and we'll send one to you. You can review it, and we'll give you 20% commission. And you think, well, that's pretty good. And the second your video is out, they send you a notice to say, well, that 20% commission has been dropped to 10, right?
Yeah, or 8.
Yeah, or less. Yeah.
The heck.
Yep.
I don't know that I've ever gotten a 20% commission from anybody, even though lots of them start that way.
Yep. So,
but again,
so
it's not for me. It's not like,
beware.
I didn't make enough money from my YouTube effort this month, so I'm not going to be able to eat. That's not the thing, right?
The way I see it,
anything my channel pays just goes back into the channel. Like I don't even take a salary out of my YouTube stuff.
The way I see it is, if someone wants to give me a product to do a review, the item itself has to be worth enough to compensate my time that what I'm putting in.
Yeah.
So if you want to give me a $35 object and you really want to do a review, then you got to pay me because it's worth more than $35 of my time, right? Yeah. So that's the way I see it. You know what I mean?
It's when they send you the $35 item and they say, we'll give it to you for free, but we want a 15-minute video. And it's like, okay.
No, like kick rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna settle on 50 cents an hour. I'm sorry.
No. Right. So for instance, just because it's not an expensive product doesn't mean it's not a good item, right? Like the CNC, the one thing, my son does everything. My son's 5 years old. So one of my biggest concerns, and Steve was telling me is, dude, sound. So I went through a couple different, headsets, looking for headsets that are going to work. And the headset that I found worked really well. I hated them because they worked so well. It was like, you couldn't hear nothing, right? It was like just a deep vibration in your voice when we're talking to each other. So then these last headsets we got, they have Bluetooth. You can listen to music. And I thought, okay, that's cool. I can listen to music and Pandora on my phone all day and be jamming out the music and still working in here, So those aren't hundreds of dollars of a cost of an item, but they want me to do a review. Like, well, we'll pay you XYZ to do it. To me, like, okay, cool. I like the product. I use the product. It's something I use every time I use my CNC. I'll do the review for that, and that's kind of when I'll accept payments on something because because they're giving you, a demand that they want you to do. So, yeah.
Yeah. The other trap that you can fall into on YouTube is, my channel is primarily around making things and reviewing hardware for making things and whatever. And then you'll get somebody who'll send you an email saying, we're XYZ clothing company and we want you to review our golf shirts or polo shirts, whatever. It's like, okay, but they always start with, we love your channel. They pick some random video and they go, we really love this. And they'll name the title. And it's like, what are you talking about? If you watched that video, you would know you shouldn't be wasting my time with your shirt because I don't do shirts.
Right.
Like,
yeah. We get crazy things like adult toys. I can't some of the people send me adult toys, and it's like, what does this have anything to do with? Have you watched any of my videos? And no, like you said, don't watch it. Oh, you're DeWalt. What the heck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but so when you first start off, I think it's like when you go to Amazon, I'd say about 80% of all Amazon reviews are paid reviews.
Yeah.
So when you're first trying to make a name for yourself, you need the ways to start getting some products to really start doing reviews is Amazon reviews. But what I tell people is this: rather than you accepting something that you don't necessarily want and start doing Amazon reviews, because that's the way I started. Just to kind of start, for one, getting comfortable in front of the camera, get better at video editing, all the above, right? Instead of doing it that way, what I would suggest you do is things you have in your house right now that you like. I like this, whatever tool, right? Go on Amazon. Make a 35-second video. Don't say your name. Just say something about the review and post it on Amazon as a review. Every single person that buys that item, even with you not recommending them, because your videos that seller, DeWalt, whoever it is, accepted that video to be associated with them, you get a cut. That's the easiest way to break into to make real money,
reviews,
to take reputable companies, because You probably can't get a deal with DeWalt right now. You probably couldn't get a DeWalt KitchenAid refrigerator right now, right? You couldn't get, but if you have a KitchenAid refrigerator, you can make that video. You know what I mean? And now you are associated with them, and they're sharing it for you. And guess what? Your name's on that. So to me, that's a shortcut way to start doing that. Same thing with Staple. If you go to staples.com or Office Max, you can leave reviews. Do the same exact thing. You have I use this pen. It's one of those pens that it's made for bank fraud pens, so somebody can't wash it back. But in the field, I like it because if it's raining or anything, it doesn't mess up my my writing, right?
Yeah.
So I started doing Staples and Office Max reviews because guess what? They have a huge marketing campaign, and when you start using your hashtag, your name, all of a sudden your ranking on Google starts coming up. My name is a serial killer's name. So if you used to search my name in the past, you would have never found me. But now you can, because I've done all the back end. What do they call it? Backlinks to my name to make my.
Now you can find it because he's been paroled.
You'll see. You might find me.
Yeah, as far as I've made it with that Amazon stuff, I got the Amazon affiliate thing going on. I've been dropping links in some of my videos for stuff that I use.
Right.
Only relevant though. I don't just randomly post stuff. Just if I post a reel and I'm using a specific thing in that reel, then I'll drop the link down below or whatever. And but I know there's the next level up. It's the Amazon influencers one, and that's the one where you do the reviews.
Literally, just go to your Amazon account and hit history this whole entire year. Look at the video, right? Look at everything you've purchased. Anything you could just write a text review, write the text review. But anything you think is worth doing a video for 35 seconds, as long as you don't say your name, you can't say this is Rick from Rick's 2 cents, blah blah. They'll automatically qualify you. You just have to say I like this Modelo beer, it tastes really good. Blah, 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 has a good shelf life, but it's finicky if it's not perfectly cold. Perfect. I'll share it. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Go look for Monsters right now. Go monster.com, like Monster cans. I drink Monster energy drinks, right? Go look at them. There's people who made Monster energy drink reviews. You know how many millions of people buy Monsters off Amazon? Yeah. Because they associated that video with them. They're getting a commission check every single month. Talk about residual income. So to me, if you want to jump in and start making money right away, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. See, I'm not so much. It's hard to explain what I'm trying to do. Basically, I'm not so much looking to make a ton of money all at once. I'm basically looking for stabilization. If you look back at all my videos, you'll see that my numbers stay pretty consistent. Because of the way that I distribute it. I work it like a clock. So when I post it, Facebook is my strongest platform. YouTube, I'm working towards, and I'm going to strengthen it whenever I'm focusing on it. But all my numbers stay pretty consistent, and you'll get spikes and stuff. But when I plan them, and my videos, I specialize in editing. I make flashy shit. I add my personality to my videos. I don't think that my page is like an average woodworking page. I try to add comedy to it and personality to it, and visual effects and stuff that's not AI. You don't see very much AI on my page. I actually have to learn the skills to do the video editing and make my hand reach out of the phone and pull it into the phone and walk off the screen with it.
So my only thing is that you just got to remember that you're your own bottleneck, right? So you can only create so much content. You can only edit so much content. You almost we make fun of Clack, because you're going to comment. That's why I'm saying it. As we said, Clack, did you hire a video editor? How are you pumping out so much content, right, Steve? It was every week. And it wasn't like a short. Clack was putting out back-to-back, massive amount of content. Everything. And we're like, dude, did you hire? You had to, but he said he didn't. So I trust him. He wouldn't lie. I think if he did, he would say he did.
So for me, basically, I put in the time. I work my 12 hours, and then I come home and I work till 10, doing my stuff. and
I
don't get no me time. And basically, what I try to do is I get my project raw footage as much as possible, and then I spend about a good solid week straight, maybe a bit more, doing the rough edits of everything to get like a month worth of content. And then I'll go back after I have the bones of it, and then I'll do the voiceovers and the captions and the transitions and everything. Like I put time into it like it's a second job, and it basically is, even though I'm not getting paid as much as I should be yet. But the goal is to get there, and I'm not stopping. That's kind of
it's a lot. Like people don't realize. Steve shares a story all the time when he says that it was a child who made him want to do influence, and said, well, if a kid can do it, I can do it, right? And then when you get deep in the weeds, it's like, this is a job. You know, like my sister-in-law is a realtor, and you know, she's always asking me questions. My sister-in-law paid someone to go through a YouTube program to tell her how to be an influencer, and the guy she's watching doesn't even have many views as I'm like, why didn't you ask me? You know, like I would have told you what I know. Like I'm not holding any secrets I wouldn't share with someone if they asked me, you know, but everyone, but you know, it's crazy. Like even kids nowadays, you know, you ask them, what do you want to be when you want to grow up? You know, and it's not a doctor or dentist. It's, I want to be an influencer. The fact that that's even a thing that kids are saying, it's crazy, you know, but it's a lot of work.
I basically just want to make enough from it on the side to pay for the projects that I'm making, like to help pay for supplies.
Well, have you ever seen Steve's Ferrari? Does OnlyFans makes a lot of money from?
Yeah, it's made of cardboard. Yeah. No, somebody did ask me why I got into YouTube, and I mean, there's the obvious personal reasons, like I want to help people, but the whole premise was the only YouTuber I knew at the time was a friend of my wife's, her son, who was 12 years old at the time, and he was doing walkthroughs of Minecraft.
Okay.
This is, I don't know, 10 years ago, right? And I thought, well, if a 12-year-old can do this, and I mean, when he turned 16, he paid cash for his first house. And he didn't even move in. He lived at home. He paid cash, bought this house, and then rented it. So he's now got another revenue stream. So, you know, you look at it and go, well, geez, if a 12-year-old can do this, it's got to be easy. Well, it turns out it's not. It's hard.
Not easy, but doable.
It takes, you have to think of it like a job to some degree. But the problem, if you just rely on AdSense revenue, like typical what YouTube pays you, it's very fluky, right? Like you can make, you know, you can make $500 one month, and the next month you'll make 2,000, and then it'll be 300 the month after that. It's just very odd.
I have videos. It's $1,126, you know, per 1,000 clicks, and I have other videos like 8 cents, and you're like,
it changes based on the engagement.
I've never peaked over $1,200, but 1,100 something is probably like my normal like high. Yeah. But again, I have stuff that's like 8 cents, 5 cents, and I'm like,
Now you guys are talking YouTube.
Shorts don't pay nearly as much, right?
No, you need a ridiculous amount of them, and I know that, but those help build my other platforms. That's why I've been focusing on them. I look at YouTube as like the final boss, because I know I'm going to have to level it up a little bit and do more long form stuff. But
so I take my long form and create short form.
What's that?
And then I take my long form and create short form. I take every long form video we have, I create 5 shorts out of it.
Yep.
And then my short forms that I create straight from shorts are just me creating something. Like if I'm making something and I just want to give you like a sneak peek. Yeah. That's what I do with those. Roy said, I don't know how you guys all have time to be a maker and, you know, to actually create content and do your own video editing. So it's a lot.
Me either.
You know, I think content.
It's easy to see on my channel when I'm switching from video creator mode to maker mode. There'll be a long gap between videos. But but it's
See,
like I make more videos when I don't have some mega project to work on.
Yeah, see, I haven't hit the gap yet. I'm trying to avoid it. I know you had said that to just ignore the everyday post thing or whatever, but
yeah, so post when you have something that you can be proud of, right?
But
it's something that you would personally want to watch.
Like I do like a full stretch of content in like a season. I spend time on each specific video, and I try to make it so that it's worthwhile posting. And each video has multiple videos in it. It's just edited, right? Yeah. So like it's structured. And I use the other platforms basically as like gasoline, I guess. Hoping that, because one thing I notice is that some of the ones that will follow me on one platform all of a sudden discover me on the other platforms once they follow me on that platform.
So like I haven't noticed that as much. I noticed that there's people that are like hardcore Instagrammers. Like, so there's people that are so hard Instagrammers. They're like, yo, give me your number. They're like, I'll give you my Instagram. I'm like, I don't want your Instagram. Give me your phone number. What are we, 16? You know what I mean? But I personally don't like Instagram. I think Instagram is like every like inappropriate type adult content. I want to be a model.
And everything is AI generated on Instagram.
Yeah, and if they did any of that kind of stuff on TikTok or Facebook or YouTube, they'd be banned.
Oh,
and I think Instagram kind of lets them get away with it. So, but I do once in a while post on Instagram, but I haven't put my heart into it because I just don't like it.
No,
but
same.
I heavily use TikTok.
I still post, but I haven't been focusing on Instagram or TikTok really. I just post consistently still, but I don't really pay a whole lot of mind to it.
Yeah, Sassy Quilts and Fine Working said it's so true. It's great to be able to use social media to increase sales and increase your audience, but it still does be able to build your art. I mean, you could spend all day on social media, but at the end of the day, I'm sad because I wasn't out in the shop at all. Yeah. And that's exactly what I'm just saying. Like,
time doing those videos as I do my projects.
Yeah.
And I got to use the ugly reality, right? You can get trapped.
Yeah.
Prison Prince said, I'd pay for them for my time, not my opinion. Exactly. That's what I said. So just because the product's not an expensive product doesn't mean it's not a quality product, but you need to be compensated for your time. Someone said, I gave you a $12 something. It could be the best $12 you ever spent, but it's only $12, right?
Yeah. Now you can say things like what Prison Prince said there, but the reality is the supplier doesn't see it that way, right? And I had a bit of a to-do with, I won't name the company, but a recent video, and it was like, we want you to change this, we want you to do that. And it's like, no. Is it incorrect? No. Then leave it alone, right? I'm not taking it out. Even most companies, they always want to see it, right? I want to see a review before your video before you release it. And most times I'll say no. But if I say yes, it's for the specific purposes of accuracy, not content. Like if I say this thing sucks, they can't say take it out, because if I say, well, here's why I think it sucks, do you agree? And they'd say, yeah, and okay, then it's staying in. Right?
Yeah. Roy said, I don't know how you have time to be a maker and a media person too. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't separate those normally.
Yeah, I like to do everything 30 days at a time. I use Social Creator. It does all my posts. I get people mad at me too because I'll post on Facebook and then they'll reply to me and say something. I'm like, dude, why did you reply? You were green. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, you post. I'm like, that wasn't me.
So you have something that posts for you?
Yeah.
I heard about that, but I haven't been able to utilize it. What, like, is it
Greatly Social? I think it's like $25 or $30 a month.
Okay.
I schedule all my posts. Yeah, and so that way that it'll even tell you like you should do a post on YouTube at this time. You should do a YouTube video post at this time. You should. It tells you, like when you can look at the algorithm and it's scheduled. So like like when Steve was saying I was posting all those shorts of our lives, I did all the editing. I spent like 12 hours and just sit down in 1 month and I do a month's worth of editing.
Yeah.
And I just upload it all to it. And then for a month, it just does all my posting for the whole month. You know, it's a 12-hour day, but it's 12 hours and then it does everything for me. But the downside to it is, like I said, is that people will see that and reply and they think that you're online because you just posted that, but you're not, right?
That's true. Yeah. I've had people message and say stuff there when I've had scheduled posts pop up at like 5 a.m. or stuff.
Yeah.
I do
5:30 a.m. is when they post.
I schedule everything at like specific times, but I don't follow that's the difference, I think, is I don't follow the Facebook. Well, I guess you guys are mostly doing YouTube, right? So, but
right. Well, some of the YouTube stuff, I post mine at 5:30 and it says like 7 or 8. But I know like a lot of the people who watch us, they're all in the trades. They're early risers. And I know because I get the comments at 5 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? Like,
you can usually see when people watch things, right? Best times. But you know, if you believe YouTube, there's no merit to what time of day you publish versus how successful a video is, right?
Yeah, but I know a video posted at 5:30.
Early engagement is the key,
comment, right?
Yeah.
To give it some fuel or whatever, their early engagement. So that's why it says like specific times and stuff. But like for me,
but YouTube says there's no merit to that.
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah.
Because YouTube doesn't even
quite a bit different.
They push the thing out to your subscribers, right? Your local viewers, and they push it out for 48 hours.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter when you push it because you're getting 2 laps of everybody's time anyway. So and then if a lot of people who subscribe or regularly watch your channel watch it, then they go, okay, let's spread it out, and they start poking it into other areas, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of there's like, if you go back and look at all of the, you know, the YouTube experts, they'll say all these things, and most of the things they say aren't actually true anymore. If they ever were, they're certainly not now.
Yeah, well, everything changes, right? Like
like even click-throughs, not so much anymore, right? Like you see the CTR, the click-through rate. That used to matter a lot. It doesn't matter so much anymore. What matters is views and retention. That's it.
Retention. And you know what I noticed? There's a new thing that's showing up to the right, far right. It says like, I think it's once they watch your video, how many videos they watch after that. Like they channel binge.
Other things they've watched.
Yeah. So I've noticed that. I'm like, oh wow, I start seeing numbers pop in there. But I think that's a newer feature. I don't remember that in the past, unless I had that filter off.
Yeah, they've been making some tweaks, right? And like right now, YouTube's algorithm favors shorts, but the struggle that YouTube has is most people on YouTube aren't there to watch shorts, right?
So what I've heard people say, other influencers, not YouTube, is a supposedly reason that YouTube is shifting to shorts versus long-term content is because they can pay influencers less. Now, is there any truth to that? I don't know.
No,
but what I do use shorts for is I link my short to the full video. You can hyperlink them.
Yeah.
So if you watch that 30 seconds,
the problem is like YouTube's pushing shorts because TikTok is eating them in the under 3 minute category, right?
Yeah.
But the people who do watch shorts on YouTube are there to watch shorts, so they don't generally watch long form videos, and vice versa, right?
Yeah,
right.
So that's the challenge YouTube has right now, right? So what they did was they changed the homepage so that instead of your video being one of like 10 on the page, you're now like one of 5 if you're lucky to get there, right? And as a result, this is why views got impacted, because they give the top row to shorts. So there's 3 shorts and then 3 longs, and the 3 longs are going to be like videos that people have been watching like crazy, right? So it's very hard to get up in the search results on YouTube now.
Prison Prince said, if they drop my commission, I drop the bill. LOL. And Santa Lane Grave said right after that. So you would do all the editing for free. One thing you got to keep in mind is if when you drop the video, also drop the views. So
yeah,
if they drop your commission, you could at least, like I said about the Amazon link, you can drop the Amazon link because they're contractually binded by certain Amazon rules. When you have a direct contract with them, they can go from 25 to 2%. There's nothing you can do about it. So, Santa's Living Grade said, you didn't tell the other night on my channel. Wait, you didn't tell us the other night on my channel. You held out on me. I don't know what I held out on you.
Didn't tell us this.
Oh,
I don't know what
what we're talking about, I guess.
Yeah.
I was on his channel last night, and it's kind of like more like an interviewed questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Prison Prince said, I don't think.
Oh, go ahead.
Prison Prince said, I don't think I edit those videos all straight, honest, straight through. I edit every one of my videos. Steve?
Yeah, I have to because I make too many mistakes.
Yeah. Maybe a short, but even shorts I edit. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're probably going to do in a 30-second short. You're probably going to do 4 or 5 cuts anyway, right? So
yeah. Yes, Sans Live Grave said that's the only way to gain people's trust. Yeah. So that Momport K40 is a hot topic, 3 years ago.
So
now,
I keep saying that once I'm done this deluge of products that I have to get done, I'm not going to do any more. But the problem is they get delayed, right? Like this M-Core was supposed to be in my shop in March, and it's now almost June. And the problem is then it messes up my whole schedule. So things get pushed.
So yeah,
in here.
One thing for me with the shorts that I like with the projects and stuff is if I'm doing projects, like especially the mini series, the bigger projects, I kind of just stick to like the technical stuff or whatever. But the mini series that lasts about a week or so, I try to like add fun facts. If I'm doing a specific character or whatever, I'll look up a bunch of like fun facts to like keep people watching and stuff and learning things, not just the woodworking, but like, informational. And it seems to be clicking, right?
Yeah, so we have inside jokes that we do, right? And the only way you would know these inside jokes is if you're a loyal watcher, subscriber, whatever you want to say. And I always say that I only make fun of my friends, right? Like I'm not a mean person. I wouldn't pick on someone who I don't know. So the camaraderie, the brotherhood's there, that Steve and I will make punch jokes at each other. Matter of fact, our last live, someone was a first-time viewer, said they loved they said the battery between Steve and I sometimes going back and forth. But the thing is that Steve and I don't always see eye and eye. Like sometimes we have a difference of opinion, and that's good. Yeah. That's not, like, because someone can say, well, I would do it this way. I would say, I would do it that way, because you may take what I say and he says, and you're going to twist it to your own flavor, or just because it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Or like I tried Steve and I can't get it to work, so I have a version of my own because that works for me. Like I didn't say I didn't think you were a good idea, but it just didn't work for me.
That's the thing, right? YouTube. Well, creating content is a very unique, personal thing, right?
Yeah,
it's very different for everybody. So,
yeah.
So Travis says, Steve, did you get the M-Core? Yes, I did. He got his a couple days ago. Haven't had a chance to play with it. It was weird. 2 of their technicians set it all up for several hours while I watched. So this is the thing, right? They said the other day it was supposed to arrive today. Yeah, this is the GBIC M-Core laser that I got.
Oh, okay.
They sent me a message and said, would you like us to send a field engineer to set it all up for you? And it's like, I don't, like, what? I said, so let me get this straight. You're going to send a guy to the east coast of Canada to set up my laser in my shop just because it's like, okay, I've worked in industrial lasers and lasers in general for 30 years. I can probably set it up. If I can't, then, the audience is going to hear about it. Yeah, they said, yeah. And the reason they can do this is because GWIC is a really big industrial company, right? So they got field people all over the place. And the answer when I asked that question, like, you're going to actually send somebody, was, yeah, we got people, they travel all the time. They won't mind. It's like, well, I used to do that early in my career, and I minded a lot because I was on the road for 24 weeks a year.
I did quite a bit of road work too there whenever I was doing cell phone towers, actually. I used to do cell phone towers.
Yeah, it's not fun to be on the road all the time.
No. Yeah, as a lineman, I lived out of my truck. I know exactly how that is. Carmen said it's a huge topic for me because content takes longer than projects. Yes.
Hey, Carmen.
It does.
The other thing is that I like, if you ever look at any review I ever did, right, no matter what it is, I fulfill my obligations to them. Like, I do my review. But there's always going to be at least 5 or 6 different videos coming after that. And it's using it, making something, or something broke, how to fix it. Those are the videos I actually enjoy doing, right? The first video is just, I fulfilled my obligation with manufacturer. Sorry, Stephen, cut you off.
Yeah, this one bugs me a lot, right? Not this statement. The truth of this bugs me because it does. Like, I've been working on a video for the last week and a half for a new laser. It's not been announced yet. In fact, it might get announced. I think Thursday or Friday. Tomorrow, Friday, I think. And it just takes so long to do it, right? Like, it's just, you're scripting, you're capturing B-roll, you're building projects
recording
at the same time. Yeah, it's just like, it's a nightmare. So, and this is why I do like making projects better than doing reviews, because you're cutting out a whole bunch of stuff, right? The whole, let's look at this laser, right? And then you can actually just build a project. But it's just been, like I said, things got delayed. I had 3 lasers in a row that got shipped to me that were dead, or I killed them. And that delayed things by a couple months. Well, 2 of those are coming this week. Well, one came today, the M-Core, and then another one. And there's one more caught up in customs right now. So they're all coming at the same time, which should have been in somewhere between January and March. And now assuming my schedule was going to be good, I accepted things for this time frame. Now I got 2 things to do at the same time, or 3 between now and the end of the month. So I hate that.
Reduce said they want shorts because they want younger viewers, and they don't have a long attention spans anymore. Oops, did I say I'm old now?
Well, there's definitely truth in this, right?
Yeah.
Like, certainly younger people have no attention span. Like, it's like a fruit fly. And they like watching shorts. But
one reason I kind of steer towards shorts quite a bit is because I do work like construction and landscaping and, a lot of brick stuff and that. And I noticed that on our lunch breaks, on all our breaks, we don't have a ton of time to watch long form videos.
Yeah.
Like, we got time to have snacks size bites of information. So that's kind of what I try to deliver with my stuff. Right?
And I should, by all accounts, make shorts. I spent 35 years in tech, where the average person is like 20, and I was the old guy, right? But the problem is, I'm trying to get a message across that I can't get across in
a short period of time.
Yeah, it's certainly not in 3 minutes.
For sure.
So
Lowe's was very demanding to me and said, like, give me this like 18 punch list of items they want me to hit. And they said it wanted like 58 seconds. And I said, I'm not an auctioneer.
That's crazy.
That is not gonna work.
Yeah.
They're like, wait. So when they gave me the list, I made like an 8-minute video. And I hit everything they asked me to. And they came back and said, hey, it's supposed to be a short. I said, we're in the contract that it's supposed to be a short to go on a short. I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to do that? I'm like, can we pick like half the items? Like, so I took an 8-minute video and made 5 shorts. And they're like, no, we want you to condense it. I'm like, it's not possible. I can't say that in 58 seconds. Like, you're going to have to, it's going to be a give and take. Some of the things like, what do you want to do? So I compromised and just took some of the things out, and they finally accepted it. But I'm like, that's crazy. Like, you know, but exactly what you're saying. They're trying to, like, you know, we were talking the other day about, we're talking the other day about the fiber laser welders, right? That how it's a different niche market. And I think that's kind of how like these battery operated tools that have always been gas, you know, like this younger generation, you know, they have a backpack blower that's a battery operated. Our generation, they're like, is it a still? And it's not. Yeah, that's junk. You know what I mean? That's just the attitude they have. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think part of that is that we weren't at the phase in technology that our batteries could last. We've always had strong, powerful motors, but they always had to be like plugged in to be that powerful, right? And then when they were that powerful, we just didn't have a battery that could last, that was worth using. So now we have these batteries that are massive, but now they're getting smaller. They're more compact. But still, the old school mentality still says that's junk. I want my still. But this younger generation wants the lighter backpack. They're more environment friendly. So they're going after that target market, right? So, but I see both sides of that coin, you know. My wife could definitely use my backpack more.
Rod,
Zintempo said if you're not video editing, you're wasting a lot of people's time.
Rod 62, he said, here's for Sugar Shane. The difference between Dubai and Abu Dhabi is that people in Dubai don't like the Flintstones, but Abu Dhabi do. Abu Dhabi do. Yeah, that's good.
Red Dewey always has the good jokes.
We got the bonus dad joke tonight.
That's like my style. I do like a sign update every so often. When I hit a milestone, I'll do a sign update. If you look at my follower sign here, I have a follower count up there. I guess you can't really see shit. But anyways, it has the follower count up there, and whenever I hit a milestone, I update it. And
that's cool.
Basically, I do like a bad joke. Like the last one, I said something along the lines of like I did the whole camera bit and turn around and, you know, add personality to it. But the girlfriend was like asking if cashews would be any good in her lunch or whatever. And I was all like, cashew aside, how about that? And then I put the little clip. But usually, like, there's other stuff. I just made that as a little reference.
I've seen the bits. Yeah, funny.
Yeah.
Chris said, "Good day from down under."
Hey, Chris.
Hello. Right, who said, "Hey, I remember you." There you go. Chris said, "I guess the 5 extra minutes turned into 2 hours to Sanders laser engraving." Was late for the live. Better late than never. Better late than never.
So well, it is morning for him, right? So
yeah. Looks like we caught up here in the comments. So if you have any questions, let us know for sure. Appreciate everyone. Let us know where you're checking in. If you're not already a member, and I see a lot of regulars, and I thank you guys for coming, but if you're not already a member to our Facebook group, I would highly suggest that you join. If you go to ShopTalkLive.club, this is not a website. It's just an auto forward to our Facebook group. I would suggest that you join. This is not Steve's Facebook group. This is not my Facebook group. I'm saying that for a reason, because if you are a social media content provider, YouTuber, however you want to classify yourself, if you are a maker, you are more than welcome to post on here. You're not stepping on my toes, Steve's toes, by posting on this. Matter of fact, we love and encourage everyone to post. It's awesome to see that. And you would be surprised. Makers support makers. I buy stuff from Skylar all the time. So, so makers support makers. So just because you're able to do something doesn't mean that somebody won't appreciate what you're making. You'd get a sale within the community itself, not even outside of the community, bringing in sales. So definitely join if you're not already a member. Put this away.
So the other day I did notice, now you brought up Skylar here. I did notice something back to the CNC. She had posted a picture of a cross that she had done with the CNC, and there was some rough edges on it. I'm assuming that was something to do with the programming of whenever she set it up.
Yeah,
right?
there's so in VCarve you can do a cut, right? An outline cut. And again, you can cut on the line, right? And if you cut on the line, that means that final surface is whatever the last tool bit did, right? But you can also do an offset. So you can say cut on the line plus a millimeter or 2 millimeters, whatever. And you can do that final will be rough there. And then you can do one final finishing pass to go down to the right.
Cleaning up.
Yeah, it's like a cleaning pass. And Skylar is just coming up to speed on her CNC. So I happen to have gone through that hell myself at some point in the past. And once you learn it, it's painfully obvious and you never forget it. So I knew exactly what was happening. And I said, well, here's how to do that. And then I assured her that's the only thing I know about CNCs.
Yeah, she asked me and I said, I'm not sure. So she asked Steve and he helped her out.
Well, she posted something on ShopTalkLive. So,
Red Dewey said, "Have you guys been in contact with Roger lately? How's he doing?" I talked to him on Facebook the other day. He's still going good.
Not too long ago, last week.
Yeah. So he's doing all right.
Recovering a bit. Yeah.
So yeah, it's all right.
Direction.
Santa's Labor Grade said it's also great direction for using a manual router. End grain could be climbing and will make it rough as well.
Yeah.
We do got
I do have a manual router, but
I
don't use it too often.
I use mine. I use it I have it on a table. But I mostly just use it to like do roundovers on wood. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah. Roundover is something it's actually quicker to do with a router than it is to do with a CNC.
Yeah. So yeah, that's like pretty much dialed in to do that.
So do you guys do any like whenever you do your projects? I assume probably you're doing most of it with like hardwoods, fancy hardwoods and stuff there. But are there any projects you guys do any like painting on afterwards, or
not a lot? Resin sometimes.
Okay. So my wife yells at me because she says, "Why do you paint things? Stop." I did some 3D printing and I painted them. And you know why I painted them? Because when I made the same thing with a CNC, I painted it and it looks so much better. And it was like because white filament and white paint, and you put them next to each other, even though they look the same, they don't look the same. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I do a ton of like I give options. So when I do the laser engraving, like a lot of the script, I'll say, hey, if you want that natural burnt look, like has that burr to it, kind of, that's fine. But if you want me to paint it black and then clear over it to seal it, that makes the letters pop a lot higher. But I don't by default do anything because I try to make everything affordable as possible. I'll do whatever's within your budget, whatever's within your means. But I do a lot of painting. And recently, like I said, I was painting some 3D printing. My wife was like, that is ridiculous. Why are you doing this? And it's because, remember I told you, Steve, how trying to make those signs on the CNC, I painted them because it's a piece of wood, and so I'm trying to compare to see when does it make sense to do something on a CNC versus a laser, like a 3D printer, like how much is your material cost? What's the time? Like, and does it not matter at some points because the machine just sit and idle? But like, that's really what I'm trying to like even out and figure out. Like, I have like staple items that I sell constantly. What's the best way that I should make this? It's going to be most time efficient, most profitable, and less hands off.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And
Well, yeah,
Do
3D
you,
3D
by
printing is
chance, have to
definitely
like
hands-on.
prime whenever you do 3D printing? Do you still prime it, or do you just paint over top?
let me grab it so you can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't paint 3D prints, but
Okay, because for me, like whenever I do my pieces, basically after I got it sanded to the way I need it there, I prime it and then I sand everything again.
yeah. Now, interestingly, Rick has like a what,
Nice.
$3,000-$4,000 printer that can do this, and he still paints it.
Yes, because I did it on the CNC, and this looks like so white, like this letters, and white filament does not look that white. So I have a high vis reflective paint,
Just need to get the right filament.
but it's not. It doesn't. If I hit that,
So how did you paint that though? Is it like that was a single piece? Did you have to like take it off or?
No, it's white. It's printed white.
Okay, it's plastic is white.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but with the paint, with the CNC, I can use it high reflective white paint. And if you pull my drive when your headlights hit it, it has like the high vis look. So that was like, oh, that looks so cool. You know what I mean? But that was something
you could have printed it with glow in the dark filament too.
Yeah, but then I got to switch everything to PLA, and I didn't have PLA blue and not that blue, and I thought about that. And then that white glow in the dark is not like white. It's green. It kind of has like
kind of a creamy color, yeah, like ivory.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm excited. You guys saying glow in the dark, and I'm thinking like my Johnny Bravo one that's going on this backer here. He's gonna be like big, but he's gonna be glow in the dark. Like his hair's gonna glow. He has outlines that are gonna be like neon colors fading into other neon colors, and they're gonna be glow. Is like anything yellow is gonna glow, and like
so like Steve, your and I car, both our headlights are HIDs, right? So
mine are LED, but yeah,
you know what I mean, like high density LED lights, right? Yeah. Those lights are not like the incandescent bulb, like the old school bulbs, right? So when your headlights or my headlights hit that sign, it's like bam. You know what I mean? It's like, so you can't unsee that. You know what I mean? It's like once you see that, like you can't unsee it. And it's just, if you've never showed anybody that and they just saw white printed, it'd be fine. Like I even told my neighbor, like, hey, what do you think of this? And I never showed him that white. He's like, oh, it looks cool. I'm like, hey, you want one of these? He's like, yeah, dude, I want it. So I'm like, all right, cool. I give it to him. And then I say, hey, why just did this with the white? What do you think of that? Oh, man. You know what I mean? You can't unsee it. Like if you've never seen it, it doesn't make a difference. But you can't unsee it. That's what I'm just trying to say. But yeah, it's definitely cool, like combining tools, right, and seeing the difference. And
materials, right? So I did I made a jig plate for my F2 Ultra, and I 3D printed it because I wanted little pins in the back to sit in the holes on the regular workspace, but I also wanted a grid on it. So I 3D printed the plate and then stuck it on the UV light on the F2 Ultra UV to engrave the grid on it. So I get the nice clean lines, which I could have done with a printer, with a 3D printer, but it would have taken like an hour extra,
right,
to just put that little pinstripe in around the perimeter and a crosshair. But yeah, you got to use multiple tools.
Yeah, and then the HDPE, right? It's like the plastic. It's multicolor.
Yeah,
I bought full sheets of that, but that stuff is not cheap. So that was another thing too. Like, what is the cost?
It depends. So it depends how big a piece is you're like how big a parts you're making with it. If you're making something small, go to like your local hardware store and just buy a cutting board. Like
I bought full sheets, 4x8 sheets.
Yeah,
and had them cut it in half.
If you're making big parts, but like you can get a couple square feet of it on a cutting board for $3.
Right. But what I was just saying is I'm trying to do an apples to apples comparison. Like, you know, like if I used MDF to make the sign, I had to paint everything blue, then I'd paint everything white.
Yeah.
You know, what is the time? What am I doing? If I use that plastic that's already the blue, white, blue, and I just used it on CNC, you know, what is that? If I made that same sign on the 3D printer, you know, but the only thing that I liked about the CNC was that it's wood. I like that the wood, I can like paint it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can get like, there's a lot of different paints you can use with wood, right? So that high vis reflecting. And like I said, once I saw it, I can't unsee it. And so I'm literally painting the 3D print. And my wife was like, that is stupid. Like, why are you doing that?
I will ask why your stop sign is blue, not red, but
because it's kind of like a joke because this is, you know, ADT.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah.
right. Doing the what?
Yeah.
Right. You get it now?
Yeah.
The ADT sign. And I'm not trying to get sued.
Now I wonder why ADT's stop sign is blue, not red.
Yeah, but on the CNC, I can also make that huge, right? Like somebody said, hey, can you make a 25-inch by 25-inch? I can't do that on the CNC. It was like, what, a little under 12 inches by 12 inches. I could do it on the 3D printer. But in CNC, obviously, I could do that half a sheet if I wanted to, right?
Yeah, like 4 feet square.
Right. So, yeah, but it's just interesting when you start thinking like comparing tools and best ways to make it, and you know, best use of your time, you know, best use of a tool, and most profitable, of course.
See, a lot of what I do, I think I would still have a hard time. I'm sure I could use both a CNC and a laser. I'm sure that I could utilize both to do what I'm trying to do, but I still think I have to still circle back around to the hand stuff, having everything in separate pieces and that, mainly because of like the priming, the painting, the finishing, and the extra sanding that's involved with every coat, but also the finishes that I put on individual pieces. Like, for example,
so I think you're just stuck in that mentality, to be honest with you. I think if you completely made that separate and put tabs, they're called tabs, right?
Yeah.
Tabs?
Yeah.
Like
Well, I don't think you even need tabs, but
no, but I'm saying if you wanted them completely separate but stuck together so you could paint them.
Like if you held this up to me and you said, I want to make this and these are all different parts, I'd still make that on a CNC.
Okay, but the thing is, when I go to paint these and do the finishes on them, like the skin has satin.
No, I get it. When I say when I say I'd make it on a CNC, I mean I'd cut all of those individual parts on a CNC.
Yeah,
like individually. Okay, yeah. I get what you're saying.
So basically, replace your scroll saw with a CNC.
Yeah, and then have it work for me, basically.
So all the homework's done up front. You got to create the file, get the file laid out the way you want. All that is done up front. But then after, from going forward, all that homework was for a reason. Point, click, done. Right.
Yeah.
The reason I said tabs is because if you took one large piece of wood and you had them all stuck, you could pick that piece of wood up with them all still stuck there and move it around and paint it. So you're not holding this tiny piece of wood in your hand with the finger while you're trying to paint it.
This is one place I see it, and you know, not to beat you up, but I do see it in people who use scroll saws more. Yeah. Right. Because they're in this mindset that you can only do this thing I'm doing with a scroll saw.
Yeah.
And it's a case of
craftsmanship.
Well,
you don't want to
like you can obviously do it with a scroll saw because you do it.
I understand,
but not only can you do it with a CNC, you can do it better. Like those pieces will be like identical Mayan rock walls put together, right? Like they're so tight.
Like I know it's perfect for like lettering. If I were to do lettering for like a business sign or something like that, I would definitely.
The thing is that you're not perfect. No one's hands are perfect, but a machine is perfect. So it'll always be identical.
It's too bad. It's too bad I don't have a picture of it, and I'd show you. But I did show Rick this because when Rick got his CNC, he said he wanted a hard project. So I took 2 I took a piece of maple and a piece of cherry, or a piece of cherry and a piece of walnut, and I put them together like a puzzle.
Puzzle. Yes, I remember that.
And I mean, I had to hammer it together. It was a very tight fit.
Oh wow.
And and all I did was say cut on, like I cut two pieces, and on this one I said cut outside the line, and on this one cut inside the line, and you get two pieces that are like sub-millimeter tight, right? And I made a cutting board out of it, just like a little cutting board. I was just goofing around one day, and like I glued them together, like I hammered it in and glued it together and sanded it, and you can't feel where those two pieces of wood transition.
Yes,
or
sir.
see it.
Prison Prince said SJ11 sub. You're not obligated to do more videos. Just kidding. I'll jump down to him. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. So yeah, you're obligated to do more. They put you on blast now, so they didn't start following. So you can have no choice.
Yeah.
And Chris, I have filmed actually white. So I like Bamboo's white because it's like white. I haven't found any. I just got some new filament that I was going to try the white because it looks really white, and my heating element on my print head went out. Hey Steve, check this out. I didn't even tell you. The 3 wires that connect to the heating element on the Bamboo printer, right?
Yeah.
They stripped them back about 3 millimeters, bare wire. On 2 of the wires, they pulled over it a heat shrink, like a tube, right? Protect it. On one of them, they left bare, like where they stripped it back to explode.
Yeah,
and then
that's probably the ground, but
I didn't chase it down, right? So, but either rate, it's not bare all the way. It's just where it is there. And then they took a glob of some kind of black, I would assume some kind of like heat resistant something.
Yeah, it's
and just
probably RTV.
Globbed it right over the top of it. But then the center wire, again, I didn't chase it down yet. Rather than put the sleeve over the wire, they put it on top of the wire so that it wasn't touching above it. So I'm printing this blue design, and a glob of black just falls on. I'm like, what is that? Where did that come from? You know, because I keep them pretty clean. And then all of a sudden, air after air after air after air, you know, it can't maintain temperature on that side. And I look up under there and I see those bare exposed wires. So printer's down.
I have not seen that.
Yeah. So, and I feel like they jinxed me because they literally emailed me and said, "Hey, Rick, how's everything going? Have you had any problems? Is everything going good? Any questions? Anything? Blah, blah, blah." And the printer stopped working.
No, haven't seen it. So on the white filament, Rick, if you want true white,
yes,
Sunlu matte white is like blistering white.
Is it PETG or is it PLA?
Well, you can get it in PETG. I typically use their PLA, but
I'm trying to remember. Because I was buying the black and the white Sunlu's. What is it, 6 or 8 pack? That big box.
Yeah, that white should be white.
I'm trying to remember if it was as white.
Yeah, so they have like the regular kind of basic filament is not the same white as matte. And I don't know if you can get matte in PETG though. I probably not. But PETG is pretty flat anyway. If you don't want it to be super shiny, just turn the temperature down a bit.
True white, not off white, not white. You know.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with the Sunlu. As I mentioned before, I think we got on. I have on my H2D, I have a bamboo white, and I have on my H2C, I have Sunlu white, and I printed the same part on both of them, and one of them looked kind of yellow, and it's like, why is this bamboo white not as white as this? This is like snow, right? And this other one's kind of this, like it looks white when it's by itself, but when you put it beside something that's truly white, it's not the same. Yeah,
so Chris said you could have done that on the HDPE on your CNC as well. And Chris, I don't know if you missed that comment, but that's actually exactly what I'm doing. So what I was doing was saying I want to create the same file multiple different ways to see which way was the fastest, which way was I felt the best use for the tool, which way was the most profitable, all that. And and then at the end of the day, what I think the best outcome was. And that was literally the 3D printer, the CNC with wood, and then the CNC with the HDPE. And the HDPE is white. It is white. But when I made it with wood and then I hit it with the high vis paint, when the headlights hit it, I couldn't unsee that.
Yeah, if you got like some kind of reflective paint,
yeah,
it's reflective, right?
It looks amazing, right? So, but that doesn't mean doesn't like detour my original concept, like and one of the things, like you said, Steve, though, is like I can't measure a 3D printer against a CNC because the 3D printer is making something for nothing, right? So
yeah,
so that's an upcoming video I have coming.
Yeah, it's additive versus subtractive, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then also material costs. That HDP is a lot more expensive than this probably costs like $1 to make, and that's definitely more expensive than so everything has pros and cons. But that's a video coming up. Really just kind of use diversified tools in my shop and seeing which way is the best way. It looks like we're a little bit over time though, but we did catch up. Chris said, yeah, Sunlu is the white I use. So I did use the Sunlu Pet G. I didn't use that matte. I'll have to maybe check it out.
Well, I don't know if they have matte in Pet G, but I just noticed that it's whiter than Sunlu's basic white in PLA, but Pet G, it's probably going to be the same white anyway. But I think the basic Sunlu white it's not the same color, like it's purposely not the same white.
Yeah, Creality is definitely not the same white.
No,
100%.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, so my so far the filaments I've used is Creality, Sunlu, and Bamboo. And then obviously the Micro Center, which I don't recommend anyone buy. I've had bad luck with them.
Yeah, I'm getting away from Bamboo filament. I think they're in a transition there right now as they set up their own lines. Once they get things moved over, we'll see how it goes. But I haven't been happy with the last couple rolls of Bamboo filament that I got. Not again compared to Sunlu. It's just I use Sunlu almost exclusively now.
Nice one. All right, well, looks like we're at time. I just want to say thank you for everyone joining the live. Appreciate everyone checking where you're from. Appreciate if you're not already a member that you do join the Facebook group. Appreciate our special guest tonight. Shane's anything you want to say here on the closeout before we go?
I mean, not really. Just if anyone ain't following me already, I guess just give me a follow and just watch what I'm gonna put out because I got a lot of cool stuff that I'm gonna be putting out. So.
Very talented man. Check him out. Steve, you want to close us out for tonight?
Yeah, thanks for coming out, Shane. Definitely, if you're in my direction, let me know, and I can give you a crash course on CNCs.
Yes.
And we'll get you set up.
Awesome. Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks all.
Welcome to the addiction. All right, guys. See you next week. Thanks for joining.
See you.
Bye.